Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Robb here from Southwest Florida Television. "69 degrees out here right now. Partly cloudy skies. A bit on the rough side this morning. We had some rain early this morning, around 2:30 here in North Naples. That storm came through a little later than they predicted. What does the beach have in store for us this morning? I don't see all the shells that we saw yesterday. They're pretty much wiped off the beach this morning. Wow. I'm just gonna take a little walk south down the beach here. See if there's anything interesting here that might have got washed up. But like I say, all the piles of shells that were out here yesterday, I mean, there was piles of them, are pretty much gone now. Wow. The good news is there's no red tide. No red tide. Some of the colors of sunrise. Still seeing some of the yellows. Actually, when I was watching the news this morning, Wink TV, there were no reports of red tide in all of Collier County. I don't think even up in Lee County, it looked like Southwest Florida, there were no reports of red tide. So that's great news. Especially with the wind, the way it was blowing. We had some pretty heavy onshore winds the past few days. Morning. How are you doing? The waves have really kicked up this morning. The dolphin comes by, it's going to be tough to see it swimming out there. Try to keep an eye out there to see if any dolphins come by. I don't see any shorebirds out here, any of our little shorebird friends. An empty beach this morning. Other than people, not much wildlife out here this morning. Some pretty colors though out there in the Gulf. You know, even though there's no red tide here, we're still having, they're finding dead birds on our beaches. especially the terns, the sandwich terns. They're showing up dead or sick. It's horrible. And the autopsies, or whatever you want to call them, and the necropsies that they did on the birds that they examined, the dead birds, they did contribute their death officially to red tide. So they're trying to figure out why we're still seeing the dead birds. And I'm sure it's because of their diet. They're ingesting the fish that were infected with the red tide. So let's hope that ends soon. I don't want to find any dead birds on the beach. And speaking of birds, there's a live one. There's a little snowy egret out looking for breakfast. I don't know if you can see it in the waves there in the foam. There he is. Slowly making its way up the beach. Oh, and here comes some little sandpipers running along. These guys, I just get a kick out of watching them run around. They're so tiny. I call them little beach mice. They just kind of bounce along. Back to the water. We'll just run in and out of the waves. They move pretty quick too. I love watching them run around. In and out of the waves, back and forth they go. Yep, there's a little straggler. Well, there they go. Not much left of the little beach snowman here. Had a pretty heavy rain last night. Not much left of the little beach snowman. Sandman, snowman. It did say Merry Christmas down there underneath them earlier, yesterday. Anyway, happy holidays, everybody watching. Still picking up some of the colors of this morning's sunrise up there. Beautiful. Well, let's make our way up the beach. Let's turn around and walk north and see what we come across. See if there's any shells on the beach. Not seeing much of anything this morning. Really nice though, 69 degrees. Really, really comfortable. Just a slight little breeze. No red tide. No red tide. None on the map this morning on Wink News. No reports of red tide. Absolutely wonderful. Morning. Low tide is until, low tide today is around 1 o'clock. So there might be some shelling, some good shelling at low tide out here this afternoon if you want to come out, you know, at lunchtime. You just never know what these waves are going to bring up on the shore. Or actually deposit out here on the sandbars. But right now it looks like they've kind of pulled everything off the beach. Yesterday, piles. Past couple days, piles and piles of shells on the beach. Now, hardly anything. Some old pieces of sponge here. Some old sponge. Different areas of the beach here. We find different things. I mean, it's all about the tides here and the shape of the beach, the way the shells get dumped up on the beach. Sometimes the shells, you find shells at the north end, sometimes at the south end. Sometimes more up at Wiggins Pass. It just depends on the currents. Oh, here's another little beach snowman. That's the second little beach snowman we saw today. Actually, this is the one. Yesterday it said Merry Christmas, but the rain washed it away. It said Merry Christmas just below him here. But he's still here. You want to take a screenshot? I'll hold that for a second if you want that for anything. Send to your friends, wish them a Merry Christmas. Cute little screenshot. Yesterday morning, this is where we saw that osprey on the beach. That was kind of cool. He or she, the osprey had a big sheephead, a big fish. I was having a hard time. The fish was so big, it was having a hard time flying with it. So it was standing out on the beach. We got a glimpse of it, and then we got to see it up in the tree with its catch. Here's where we started. Right there on that boardwalk, that's the north end of Area 2 Beach right there. If you remember yesterday when I came out, piles of shells here, just a big line of shells down the beach. Now it's pretty thinned out. Well, that's not going to stop me from walking the beach though, that's for sure. We might find something up here a little further up the beach, you never know. Yesterday though, my gosh, what a morning. Found a lot of apple murex shells yesterday morning. That picture wasn't everything I found. I had a whole nother pocket full of shells. That was just one pocket full that I took a picture of yesterday. Here's the remnants of somebody's sandcastle up here. Slow look around here out into the Gulf. Gotta, when you come out to the beach, you gotta remember to look up into these pine trees. You never know what you're gonna see perched up there. I'm guessing between 3 weeks and a month ago, at the north end of the park in one of the pines, there was a bald eagle. You don't see those very often here. It's quite a sight to see a bald eagle. Normally we see our ospreys up there. A lot of people get the ospreys confused with bald eagles. They see their white heads. They're not all white like a bald eagle. It's easy to mistake an osprey for a bald eagle, but you see the two side by side, there's a huge difference. Bald eagles are huge. And the colors are much different than an osprey. Both beautiful birds. The ospreys are really neat. Fish hawks. Some people call the ospreys fish hawks. Anything down here? Well, son of a gun, I'm a happy camper. I got a shark eye. Very little, few shells on the beach, but there's a little moonshine, moon shell. It's got a little hole in it. It's all right. A little shark eye. I'm a happy camper. Not going home with empty pockets. Here's a little piece of a Murex. Boy, we found a lot of these yesterday, these apple Murex shells. This is just a little slice of one, but we found a lot of them yesterday. I probably took about a dozen home with me yesterday. Saw a lot more, a lot of big broken ones, unfortunately. Yesterday we saw a lot of these too, these little baby fighting conch shells. Saw lots of them. Fighting conchs, little baby fighting conchs. There's a little baby cockle shell. Little baby cockle. Do I see a Murex? I see a worm. Look at that. See, if I didn't stop, I would have never seen that little apple Murex buried in the sand. Just a piece of it was sticking out. Taking my time, that's what it's all about. Nothing huge, no big shells, but I don't care. The little ones are just as pretty as the big ones. Excuse me. I picked up a little bit of a cold over the past couple days here. Got a little congestion. You probably hear it in my voice. Here's some more of our little sandpipers running around up here. Look right here in the center of the screen. They'll probably come running down here past me. Hey, be sure to hit that share button if you like what you're seeing. Let your friends join in with us. Make sure you introduce yourself to the group. Let everybody know where you're watching from. What's the temperature where you're at? I know a lot of folks are watching from up north. big patch of blue sky up here. Boy, we might get some nice sunlight on the beach here in a little while once the sun pops up over the trees here. Past couple days have been kind of gloomy. Well, you can definitely tell Christmas is upon us here. We saw 2 snowmen, sand sculptures on the beach already. Here's another one over here. See what it looks like after the rain. This one's been here for a while. Oh, you can still make it out. The little snowman and the Christmas tree. Merry Christmas. That was made by our friend Shannon. There, if you want to grab a screenshot of it, go for it real quick. I'll hold the camera here for a few more seconds if you want to do a screenshot. Let me come down. Maybe we can get the water in the background here. Yeah, there you go. Get a little water in the background. Merry Christmas from Southwest Florida. A lot of people take screenshots and during the beach walks and use them for their cover photos. I got no problem with that, especially if you are kind enough to include a little mention of Southwest Florida television when in your photo. Maybe a link back to my Facebook page, that would be nice. I do see a lot of my pictures popping up on Facebook. People just downloading them and using them. I don't have a problem with anybody downloading my photos. Just give me a little credit for them. Boy, no shells up here. I'm not seeing anything. I'm in the very south end of Area 4 right now. Don't forget about Roy's birthday party, Thursday, December 20th. Everybody's invited here. Look for the picture of Roy on my Facebook page to get more information about that. Ooh, some sun hitting the water now, starting to pop the colors out a little bit. Very blue here this morning, very, very blue. Have our little snowy egrets. Boy, more and more blue sky. as the morning progresses here. The forecast showed it to be really cloudy this morning, but it's looking nice. Looking really good. Some beautiful colors. You see the sun over here to the left, right up over here. There it is. Just coming up over the trees. Yeah, no red tide here. No red tide. There's plenty of other problems out there in the Gulf, but the red tide isn't one of them here at our beach right now. Thankfully. It is sad to hear about all of the birds that are still dying, and that is because of the red tide, because of the fish they're ingesting. It's horrible. The Conservancy of Southwest Florida said I forget what it was, since November 10th or something, November 10th, they had 91 birds brought in, and out of the 91, only 7 are still alive. And that 91 is just a small number. I mean, we have so many barrier islands, unpopulated beaches. Who knows what is out there on them. Very sad. Very, very sad. Let's just hope this red tide stays away for now. So it just keeps moving further and further away and eventually disappears. Wow, nothing. Nothing in the way of shells, just a little sprinkling of shells here and there. Nothing like the past couple of days. But again, that doesn't mean we can't find something interesting. All it takes is one shell. Neat little piece of worm rock down there. I'm just thrilled that the sun's coming out this morning. We've had some pretty overcast days here the past several days. What's this down here? Oh, it's got a hole in it. A little tulip shell with a hole in it. Darn it. I love those little tulip shells. So cool. These waves make it a little harder to spot the dolphins out here when they come by. No idea when they might make an appearance. It's beautiful though, the light hitting the waves out there is as they break over the sandbar. Some more little sandpipers running around. Where are you guys going? Hard to see there in the shadows. Is that a little moon shell down there? It is a moon shell. What kind of shape is it in? Oh, it's a nice little one. Nice little shark eye. Come on, camera. Get a focus there. Little shark eye. Just keep your eyes open. There's still some shells out here. Just because there's not big piles of them all up and down the beach doesn't mean you're not going to find anything. There's a little pen shell down here. Most of a pen shell. Well, I'm sure you've seen these on the beach and wondered what they're called. Pen shells, P-E-N. If you use your imagination, they got the name pen shell. It looks like an old-fashioned writing pen, like an old fountain pen. The pen shell. Usually the base of these is really neat. Look at this one here. You can see the iridescence, the whole thing inside. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Beautiful shells inside. Beautiful. Look at that. You see that rainbow in there? Gorgeous. The pen shell. What else is laying on the ground here? Loving the sky this morning, loving it. Nice change of pace. A very nice change of pace. Here's some nice couple nice little slipper shells down here. Little slippers. You usually, pretty much all the time, find slipper shells out on the beach. It's like a little slipper when you flip it over. They're pretty common. Also our little worm shells. Fairly common. That's not a very big one right here. This isn't too big, but sometimes you can find some really nice ones. The little worm shells. Boy, here's a piece of a big tulip shell. I would love, look at that. I would love to find a tulip in good, a perfect tulip that size. Look at that. Darn it, it's got a chip in it. That would have been a gorgeous shell right there. That tulip, banded tulip. Darn. Can always find plenty of beautiful broken shells. No problem with that out here. These waves really do a number on them. Piece of a little moon shell, just a piece of one. Little scallop shell. There's a nice little slipper. It's a dark one. A dark slipper shell. Look at the inside of that slipper. That's cool. Oh, here's a little pile of shells. This is the most we've seen in one spot this morning. Take a closer look here. See if anything got uncovered by the waves. This is kind of the same pile. This is the same pile of shells we saw yesterday. What's left of it? Oh, I saw a Murex. Piece of a Murex, darn it. Piece of a big apple Murex. Piece of a whelk over here. Piece of a lightning whelk. Another piece of a lightning whelk. Like I said, no shortage of broken shells. Pretty little black scallop shell. Straighten up here real quick and look out into the Gulf. Make sure no dolphins are coming by. It's been over a week since we've seen a dolphin on our beach walk, our morning beach walk. They've been seen out here, just not during my beach walks. It's all about timing. Down at this pile of shells at my feet here, and kind of bleak. Kind of bleak. Move up a little further. Piece of finger coral over here. A little piece of finger coral. And over here, beautiful colors. What's left of a crown conch. Gorgeous colors. Crown conch. Love to find a nice one of these. There's some more, another little pile we can kind of sift through. Pardon me. Piece of an old moon. There's a piece of a pen shell with that beautiful, those beautiful colors on it. So neat looking. There's a piece of a big broken Murex, darn it. That would have been a beauty. That is still kind of neat though. You see the inside of that Murex, that's neat. That's a big one too, for this beach. Another broken crown conch. I'm surprised I'm not seeing any Murex shells buried in here, just because we saw so many of them yesterday. Figured we'd find a couple still buried in here. Now we got that sunlight out, makes it a lot easier to find things. There's one. Another apple Murex. I had a feeling we'd find a couple more of these. Absolutely gorgeous morning. Look at that. What a change, huh? In the past couple days, all that dreary, gray, gloomy sky. Oh, it's beautiful. And lots of little sandpipers running around the beach this morning. Zoom in down to the south end of the beach. You can see there's a lot of spray down there in the air. A lot of sea spray, a lot of mist. The waves are really churning up the coastline here. That's looking to the south. There's still a few shells here. There's still a little pile. I'm keeping my eyes open here as I walk by them slowly. Slow but steady here. There's another nice pile just ahead of me up here. Nice little pile, what's left of one of those huge piles. I think if I look really close, I might find something still left in here for us. There should be something good in here. Heavens. Our little fighting conchs. Lots of fighting conchs on the beach. Florida fighting conchs. Worm shells, lots of wormies. Lots of worm shells. Piece of a moon shell. What's left of a shark eye. A big hole in the side of the shark eye. Piece of a tulip, another tulip. I'm seeing lots of broken tulip shells on the beach. Lots of broken tulips. Another piece of a worm shell. I need to get on the other side of this pile. Nice big little slipper shell. Nice little slipper. Gotta straighten the old back out here for a minute. It sucks to get old. None of you know what that's like. Here's a little Nautica shell. Very similar, same shape as a shark eye, just different colors. This one's almost white. A little baby lightning whelk shell down here. A little baby lightning whelk. Some more little worm shells, some cool little worm shells side by side. Nice little wormies. That's a nice one here on the right. Excuse me. I picked up a cold 2 days ago, darn it. I want to go back and check this pile of shells over here. Let's see what else, if there's anything left in it. Cool worm shells. Just so many worm shells. There's a little tulip shell. See? Paid to come back. There's a little tulip. Definitely pays to move the stuff around. Don't expect to just come out here and have the shells jump out and introduce themselves to you. Little scallop. Little cockle shell on the right, a scallop shell on the left. Little baby cockle. That was cool. Just coming back and finding that little tulip shell. That was worth turning around. I guarantee you there's still some little treasures buried. Look at that. See that? You just... Things are so tiny and hard to see. Whoops. Just buried down in there. Just goes to show, no matter how good you are, how good you think you are at shelling, how easy it is to miss something. Out there, sun shining bright, gorgeous morning. Hey, hit that share button. Come on, if you're enjoying these beach walks, please don't hog them to yourself. Let your friends know what you're watching. Let's get some more viewers on board here. Let's see what those temperatures are all around the country. One of those little spots. One of those little spots where the shells are piled up. Again, maybe just move them around a little bit. There's so many neat little things. I mean, common, yeah, but whatever, you know, cockles and scallops. Look at them all down here. Look at all the little cockles and scallops. Just a pile of them. Piles of the little cockle shells, piles of them down here. Amazing. Oh, there goes Bill. There goes our friend Bill heading out onto the beach with his net. Go look for shark's teeth and sand dollars. And some nice shells. He races out there to get ahead of me. I'm happy. I found some nice stuff already this morning. There's see this pile here? There's plenty of shells out here. Plenty for everyone. No need to be greedy. Piece of a little lightning whelk. It's got a long tail on it there. There's a bigger whelk, an old whelk. All withered away, weathered away. A little olive over there. A little olive shell maybe. Yep. Oh, it's got a little hole in the end. A little olive. Yeah, a few little clouds moving in front of the sun right now. We'll be back out in a minute. It's turned out to be an absolutely gorgeous day today. Gorgeous. Here's a little turkey wing shell. The turkey wing. It's not the holidays unless I show you a turkey wing shell. The holidays aren't complete without a turkey wing. Piece of a Murex. Come on, dolphins, where are you guys at? Where's those dolphins? Old lace Murex. It looks like a lace Murex. And right down here, oh, broken, darn it, a whelk, a lightning whelk. Good morning. A lot of regulars come out here in the morning. You start to recognize people once you start coming here on a daily basis. A lot of the same people. It's our little beach community. Some really nice people out here. Made some great friendships. Of course, Roy. Probably my biggest friendship that I've made out here. I am so looking forward to him coming back to the beach, sharing stories with me. That was always the highlight of my beach walks. He's going to be back. Actually, Roy's going to be at the beach next Thursday for his birthday. Hoping to see a lot of our local friends show up for that celebration. His 94th birthday. We'll be right up under those pine trees, right up there on the beach, up in the north end of Area 4. The party's going to start around 10:30. All we ask is that you bring a dish with you, something to share with the group. Whatever you want, sweets, health food, whatever. But I am hoping to meet a lot of you, a lot of our friends here, maybe for the first time. That'd be fun. Good excuse to come to the beach. Do some shelling on your own. Little moon shell. Maybe we can all take a beach walk together. Wouldn't that be fun? Walk the beach together and do some shelling. That might be an idea. What do you think? Instead of doing my beach walk in the morning, I'll save it for the party. Do my live feed. We'll start at the party and then take a little beach walk with anybody that wants to join me. Next Thursday. How about that? I'm just walking really slow here. We're looking at the ground as I move along. There isn't as many shells out here as there were the past couple of days. But yet I've still found some nice little treasures. And I'm still thinking about maybe putting together some little boxes of shells. Maybe just 5, maybe 6 shells in a little box. The smaller things that we find here at the beach, smaller versions of them, so it's easy to ship. Just waiting to see. If anybody's interested in that. I have no idea what the cost would be, but I want to make some money off it, obviously. Not the Good Samaritan sending out free shells. Which most of you know, by the way. Nobody pays me to come out here and do these beach walks. I do enjoy sharing it with you, keeping you updated on the water, on our water conditions here in North Naples, and I enjoy bringing everybody together here on social media. I mean, that's kind of what it's all about. As far as the water conditions go, no red tide here. No red tide. I didn't see any on the map anywhere today. According to Wink News, the map they showed in the 6 o'clock news this morning, no red tide anywhere. Collier County is red tide free. Couple little cockles over here. Couple little cockle shells. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, you know, nobody pays me to be out here. Every once in a while, somebody will send me a little donation, a little contribution. That is always appreciated. I always post a link to my PayPal account in the description of this post. Every little bit helps out. I use that to pay the phone bill. I think I'm going to have to get another gimbal here for the camera, so at least one I'm using. It's not that old, but it's, I don't know, it's not acting the way it should act. But I definitely don't get rich out here doing these beach walks. If anybody thinks that, you're mistaken. If you do want to send something, thank you. And those who have sent something, thank you. And here's Mr. Bill.
Not a lot around, buddy.
Nothing?
Nothing of any substance.
Of substance. There's a lot around.
There's a lot around, but nothing worth picking up. Not at this point, anyway.
A lot of mist in the air, a lot of spray.
Foam down there.
Oh, Roy's favorite thing.
Yeah, he loves that stuff.
Sit there, look at the little rainbows in the bubbles.
Oh, he loves it. It's all right, we'll get him
You
down.
need to have a talk with him. He's not listening to anybody.
Yeah? What's he up to now?
He's going to drive to Sarasota.
Sarasota?
Yeah. Everybody's telling him no.
He wants to go for Christmas.
He's going to see somebody up there, yes.
At Christmas time.
And it's like, Roy,
Jeez.
that's
All right,
the craziest thing.
I'll go see him on the way home.
All right. All right, Bill. Yeah, we don't want Roy driving to Sarasota. We all love him. And I don't want to take up a collection to send him on a bus to Sarasota. That is torture, riding a bus. I don't know if any of you have gone on a long haul on a bus recently, but it's not glamorous on the old Greyhound. It takes forever. They stop everywhere. I would not do that to him. And it cost a bunch of money to send him up in an Uber, up and back. I don't know. I guess as you get older, you have to accept the fact that you just can't do everything that you used to be able to do when you were young. A lot of us have a really hard time doing that, though. Me being one of them. We all think we're invincible. There's a pile of this sea foam up here on the beach. That's what Bill was talking about. You heard him say earlier, a lot of foam up here. There is, this is something Roy just gets a big kick out of watching. He just stares at this foam. There's a little But if you look at it closely at the bubbles, you see like little rainbows in there. I don't know if you can see them. The sun just went down. But Roy would stare at this. Just stand there staring at it. I think I have a picture of him staring at it on the beach. It just washes in and out with the waves. But that is his one of his favorite things to watch. It's this foam. The sea foam and the dolphins. And it's funny how you just see it in certain areas. There's some big blobs of it over here. Roy was just mesmerized by it. Boy, we've had some erosion here overnight. Look at that. Look at how the waves have chipped away at the beach here. Darn. This beach is constantly changing. And there is a big pile of shells here, and they're all underneath this foam. There are a lot of shells here. This foam has them all covered up. Darn it. Gosh, dang it. Dag nabbit. Hey, there's something. Hang on to this cockle shell here. It's got a nice little hole in it. We'll back up to the tree line, find a tree. We'll hang this cockle shell for everybody for the holidays. Well, our little bird friends weren't up here this morning. Yesterday and the day before we saw some terns and gulls. I haven't seen any this morning. There's that beautiful view. The pine trees, the blue sky. Up in Area 4, up at Roy's Beach. Boy, this beach is just amazing. How it has changed up here. It's hard to see, but there's big dips up here now. This used to be all flat. Now it dips way down here. It's amazing how this beach is always changing shape. Incredible. Mother Nature. She will do whatever she wants to do. And we have seen some pretty intense changes. along our coastline over the years. Oh, darn it. Piece of an apple murex over here. It's way back up on the beach too. Broken apple murex shell. Piece of a pear whelk. It's left of a pear whelk. We saw one of these, a pretty good sized pear whelk yesterday with a hermit crab in it. That was kind of cool. I'm not seeing too many shells anymore. We're really starting to thin out here. Getting close to time to turn around and start heading back to where we started. Hopefully we'll catch a dolphin swimming by, but it's pretty hard with all these waves out here to see them. It'll be a miracle if I see them. They could go right by me and not be seen. I hear an osprey. I hear an osprey back in the woods. Come up here. I picked up a nice little cockle shell earlier. I'm just gonna stick it on one of these branches, on one of these dead branches here. Nice little cockle shell. Nice little cockle shell right here. In case you're wondering, when you come out to the beach, if you see shells hanging on the branches of a dead tree, people hang shells on these trees along the beach for several reasons. I'm gonna hang this one right here. Nice conspicuous spot here. But people hang these shells for several reasons. First, just as a decoration. The second reason, they might hang a shell and say a prayer for a loved one. Or they might hang a shell and make a wish. But a lot of these shells that you see hanging on these trees have been hung in memory of a loved one that's passed away. So keep that in mind when you see them. Most of the time they're not just decorations. They have some meaning to someone somewhere. So that shell right there is for all of you who have lost a loved one during the holiday seasons or missing a loved one during the holiday seasons. I'm just going to give you a minute of silence here. If you want to say a little prayer, go right ahead. Amen. You can see more shells up here. Somebody hung a nice little Murex over here. Well, let's turn around and walk back up the beach. Actually, walk down the beach. Sorry about that. Walk down. We're going to be walking south now. I'll keep my eyes peeled out there in the Gulf for maybe a dolphin. You never know. A lot of times, you see where the waves first start breaking out there? That's because there's a sandbar out there. And the dolphins will swim along just the edge of that sandbar, so they're like right behind the wave. So you really can't see them. Every once in a while you get a glimpse of their dorsal fin, but they're really hard to spot. They kind of like, they're hidden behind the waves breaking out there. I heard an osprey calling out. At least it sounded like an osprey. Excuse me. From one of these trees right here. It sure sounded like one. Yep, I see it. I can just see a shadow of it though, darn it. I'm looking right in. It's gonna be hard to see. And I lost it already. It's gonna be really hard for me to find it. Gotta try to hide to get the sun out of my eyes here and figure out where it is when I zoom in. Okay, where's that fork? There's that fork. There it is. I can't believe I found it. Can you see it up there? There's one of our ospreys. He's tucked into that tree pretty well there. There you go. Good morning, Mr. Osprey. Doesn't look like he has any fish, he or she. Doing a little grooming. Love seeing those ospreys, also known as a fish hawk. I'll try to get a little closer. I'll zoom back out here. Trick is keeping the sunlight out of my eyes here. There we go. Now, where is that guy or girl? You can hear it. Down the beach it goes. Well, that's cool. We got a nice little look at an osprey this morning. We've seen some birds out here. We've seen sandpipers and little snowy egrets. Now we just saw an osprey. We have seen some nice little shells. I do have some shells in my pocket. Not a full pocket, but I got a lot of them. It's been a great morning. Blue sky. Little wave action out there this morning. morning. Lots of friendly people out here. Can you see the dips in the beach up here? Can you see how the beach has changed shape? Just incredible. Absolutely neat. It's cool. I'm going to take a picture of this. Just bear with me here for a minute. I don't know if that's going to turn out. It's hard to see. But you just have these big valleys, you know, running through the beach now. It never ceases to amaze me how this beach is constantly changing. The beach comes and goes. You can spend millions of dollars renourishing the beach, but if Mother Nature wants to wash it away, she's going to wash it away. There's nothing you can do about it. Tide is slowly going out here. I think if I can zoom in out here to the horizon, if you look close there, I believe that is the Big M. I believe that's the boat that takes you down to, or not the Big M, I'm sorry, the Key West Express. That's the big boat that takes you from Fort Myers down to Key West out there. I think that's it out there. It's just a little black blob. It's hard for me to tell. It looks big to me. You can see it actually. You can see it better than me. I think that's the Key West Express. Check that out. Key West Express. That's a fun little way to go down and visit Key West. Just a day trip. I love listening to these waves. clouds rolling in here, and just like a line of them there going in front of the sun, hiding our sun here from us. Out now. I'm back in behind the clouds again. Yeah, well, we had a great little beach walk this morning. We did find some nice little shells. We did get to see an osprey. That was cool. Loved seeing the ospreys. Didn't see any dolphins. They did not come by, or at least I did not see them. I can't swear one didn't come by. But it is a little hard to spot those critters with these waves sometimes. Weather permitting, and God willing, I'm gonna try to come out here Christmas morning and capture the sunrise, do a live feed at sunrise from up at Wiggins Pass. So let's see how the weather plays out. Hopefully we'll have a few people up for that. The sun has really gone down here. It was really beautiful for most of the morning this morning. The sun popped out. It was looking great. We were getting some good looks at all these piles of shells down here. That right there, that colorful little thing, that's a piece of an alphabet cone right there. Piece of an alphabet cone shell. See what the inside of an alphabet cone looks like. the sun would peek out, but it looks like there's a pretty heavy line of clouds here moving in front of it now. It's going to be a while, but it will be popping in and out throughout the day. Good day. Be a nice beach day out here. Having fun following this little snowy egret. Walking down the beach with me. Well, thanks for watching. It was a great little Saturday morning. Great little beach walk this morning. Nice shells, saw a few birds, an osprey. No dolphins, no red tide. That's a good thing. Hey, be sure to tell your friends about Southwest Florida Television. Do take the time to check out my photos and videos. Please share anything you come across that you like. Make sure you like and follow Southwest Florida Television on Facebook. And also Nonstop Naples. Please like and follow Nonstop Naples. Nonstop Naples. I'll be appearing there in some live feeds once in a while. I'll be doing some beach walks from there. And some live feeds from other areas around Naples. So make sure you follow Nonstop Naples. And as always, nobody pays me to do this. If anybody wants to make a little donation, it's always appreciated, especially around the holidays. You can find a link to my PayPal account right here in the description of this post. Again, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. For Southwest Florida Television, I'm Robb saying, God bless.